Hello, can you guys hear and see me?
Hey, coach, you're good to go. You guys can go ahead.
All right.
Hey Sean, how do you think the week of preparation went after Sunday's loss?
I think good. It was really our first normal in-season game week, if you will, relative to our schedule. This will be our first game in the early slot, 12 noon our time. Overall, I was pleased.
Sean, how impressive is it to see what Adrian Peterson's still able to do at the age of 35?
Yeah, it's very impressive. I mean, we talk all the time about the quarterbacks, when we're referencing Drew or we're referencing Tom Brady. I think he's in that same discussion relative to how he trains, takes care of his body. Especially at that position, it's extremely rare. And and all three of those players we just referenced are first ballot Hall of Famers someday. But it's very impressive.
It's hard to be a coach this year, but I imagine it'd probably be a little harder to be a first-year position coach with Mike Hodges. How have you thought that he's adjusted to the new role, especially with everything that y'all have had to deal with this year?
Yeah, look, I think he's doing well, and he and Michael Wilhoit works with him, and he's someone that obviously studies the game, and I felt very comfortable putting him in that position. But he's doing well.
Sean, how confident do you feel in your cornerback depth if you need to dip into it at all this weekend?
Yeah, we always have preparations for an injured player, but I think the guys that we've had, I feel like we're deeper than we've been most years, and yeah, we're doing good there.
Y'all brought back Ken Crawley to the practice squad this week. Just been a little while since he's been here. Bringing him back, your thoughts on him?
It's good to see him. Look, we won a lot of games back in, what was it, 17 or I think it was 17 or 18, 17 maybe, where he was starting. And, he's smart, he can run well, and it's good to have him back on the roster.
Sean, is it pretty easy for guys like that to just come in and sort of, pick up where they left off and know the
No,
system and everything?
no. I mean, there's some carryover from a terminology standpoint, but no, look, he's been playing, he's in good shape, and there are a few things that are new, and it's like anything else, it's getting used to the specifics and the details.
Sean, with a couple of games under his belt now, has Trautman kind of made some strides? Kind of now that this is like basically would be his last preseason game essentially.
Yeah, look, he had a good training camp right away. He's smart. He's someone that's tough and prepares well. I know the quarterback has a lot of confidence in him, so he's played well. Last question.
Rizzi was mentioning last week about how some teams game plan for Justin Hardee on special teams as a gunner. Just what's the impact he has even when maybe he's not the guy making the play?
Well, look, anytime you have someone with his speed and his physicality, I mean, look, he gets doubled on the punt return game, by their team. He just draws attention because he's such an impactful player. That's a credit to him, and so that frees up other guys with single blocks or with better leverage. Thanks.
Thank you, coach. All right, Adam, your first question is going to be from Luke Johnson.
Hey, Adam. Just curious if this like first 3 games was kind of like a preseason for you almost, just like kind of getting used to the game speed and what Drew wants from you and all that.
Yeah, I mean, kind of in a way. Obviously, I haven't had any experience in game yet. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of getting used to it. But you know, when I'm getting ready for the week, it's prepare to play and prepare to contribute. So I don't really think of it too much as a preseason game. I guess development-wise, you could think of that in a way. But you know, I'm ready whenever my number's called and ready to contribute. So you know, there's definitely more pressure than a preseason game.
Next question is from Amos Morale.
Yeah, since the season has started, and now that you've actually played some games, have you learned anything different about just kind of how it's gone for you as opposed to just going through training camp?
Yeah, I mean, when you get into a game, you know, everything kind of speeds up. You know, there's no script, there's none of that in a game kind of thing. So, you know, any play can be called at any time. But yeah, I mean, same thing. Like, you know, just staying ready at all times and prepared to, you know, contribute when my number is called.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Sean was saying that you have a pretty good comfort level with Drew, or at least Drew does with you. What's kind of been your process of building that up with him?
You know, main thing is listening to him. You know, he's one of the best quarterbacks to ever do it. Obviously, no question about that. You know, and one of the things that's, you know, one of the main things that sets him apart is mentally how he looks at everything and how he handles everything. And you know, that's what you want to listen to, and that's what you want to take in. You know, once you get to this level, physically, guys are, you know, some guys are obviously physically more advanced and have the edge, but mentally, if you can gain edge mentally, that's where you can really, you know, take a step on your opponent. And yeah, I mean, I'd listen to him. You know, everything that he says, I'm gonna do. And yeah, I mean, the relationship's been great, and he's been great to me.
Next question is from James Cook.
This is kind of a homecoming for you, Adam. And how have your friends and family kind of been spoiled by the fact that almost all of your games have been primetime and national broadcasts?
Yeah, no, they love it. You know, especially my parents and a bunch of my college buddies. You know, unfortunately, there's no fans, and coming back to Michigan and to Detroit would have been, you know, awesome. But it's just kind of the circumstances. But yeah, I mean, everyone loves it. Everyone's excited that I know in my family. So, you know, yeah, they love it.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Kind of just speaking of people like learning from, if you picked up anything from Jared Cook. Obviously, the guy's been in the league forever, and I'm just curious what that's been like.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the best things is being in the same meeting room as him, and just how he talks through things and says why he did what he did, kind of how he sets up guys. You know, he does a tremendous job. I mean, he's been a very, very, very good tight end for a very, very long time, and you know, he hasn't slowed down. So learning from him is great, and then, you know, obviously Josh Hill as well. You know, for me personally, I get the best of everything. Like, you have a premier receiving tight end in Cook. I mean, he can stick his hand in the dirt and block too, but you got a premier receiving tight end, and then you got Josh, who does literally everything. So for me, I'm very fortunate with the tight end room I got stuck in. I don't want to say stuck in, but I was fortunate enough to be drafted into.
Next one's from James Cook.
Talk a little bit about your involvement in the Microsoft Surface commercial and how that came about.
Yeah, I just got a call from my agent one day, and he was like, "Hey, you know, I got this. Talk to the people at Microsoft, and they want you to do this commercial." And you know, of course, I'm going to do it. So it's kind of how it went. There was really no, am I going to do it or not? I definitely was all for it, and definitely a great experience.
Next question's from Rod Walker.
Adam, did you grow up a big Lions fan or
So
no?
yeah, so I actually was. I lived in Houston, Texas, until I was 12. So I kind of got my sports roots from there. So I was always like kind of a Texas fan in a way, not super diehard, and then like Texas. So no, I don't really. I was never really a Lions fan, to be honest.
All right, I think we're all set. Thank you, Adam.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Cesar, your first question's from Luke Johnson.
Hey Caesar, just how did last week go? Just being on the field for kind of an extended period of time. It's been a while since you had to do that.
Yeah, it felt good to finally get back out there and get a good amount of reps in, actual live game reps. So it felt good, to be out there again, just playing. I was excited.
Like the actual process of getting the were you tired after the game?
Nah, I wouldn't even say I was tired. You know how when you're a kid and you just like having fun and you just want to go play with your friends, you don't really get tired. Your adrenaline's rushing and you're just so excited to be in the moment that, I wasn't really tired.
Next question's from Amy Just.
Yeah, I mean, you got in for like 5-6 snaps the week before. Did that help? Just even though it wasn't a ton of reps, it was still some.
Yeah, definitely. Even one live game rep, even if I would have gotten in for one play, would have helped. Filling those out and seeing what an actual live NFL game is like, even if it's only one rep, definitely helps.
Next question's from Rod Walker.
I think you're muted, Rod.
I'm sorry. Again, how special is it for you just to be going back to, Michigan, right down the road from Ann Arbor and going to Detroit?
It's cool. Unfortunately, the circumstances we living in, not really going to have anybody, not be able to see the people I know that I've connected with down there, but I know I have a great support system over there in that area, so it's feel good to go back to that state of Michigan.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Shoot, I just it just blanked. I can't even think of it now. I'm sorry about that.
All good.
All right, next one's from Amy Just.
Yeah, when you finally got in there, just how much did you feel that the chemistry was working between you and everybody else, especially since you hadn't practiced a whole lot and it was really your first game getting a ton of reps?
Yeah, in practice, a lot of us I was able to get reps with, a lot of guys and, rotating just to get the feel of things. So really it wasn't, I felt like the chemistry was just there. It was me and everybody else communicating, just doing what we're doing. Just me, I had to come fill in the spot, and chemistry was there.
Next one's from James Cook.
How difficult has it been this season with coronavirus and no preseason and everything like that for rookies like you and Adam Trautman to kind of really get involved and get into the offense?
I think really the only thing was that we didn't really get to actually play some football until, like August. I know in the regular, I think in normal circumstances it'll be sometime right after the draft, like a couple weeks after that. I think that was really the only thing. When it comes down to learning the offense, it wasn't really that difficult. We had the virtual meetings. We were able to come in and do actual live reps from here. So I'd say the most difficult part was just not being able to actually play football for so long.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
I finally remembered my question. Like when you're dealing with that injury like late in camp, like what was your mindset going through that? Just like knowing that like it happened right before the season started, and now you had to kind of continue waiting after that.
Yeah, for me, when it first happened, I was like, all right. I said, I didn't get down on myself and always keep high spirits, But at the end of the day, it was what it was. If it happened, that's just how it happened. I got to work my way to get back. I took everything serious in terms of my rehab and just everything. Really, I took a head first approach to it. So I didn't let it really get me down. I was still my happy self and my high spirits, being a great teammate, doing everything I could do.
That wraps it up. Thank you, Cesar.
Thank you.
Okay, Justin, your first question's from Nick Underhill.
Okay.
Hey, Justin. I just wanted to ask you about just the commitment this team has to special teams in general, and just bringing in guys like you and JT and Callaway, and just what's that dynamic like? Just knowing you play for a team that values that aspect of the game so much.
Well, that's obviously how I've made a living thus far. Got my head start in the league, and I would definitely say that Coach Sean Payton, it's definitely, it's just as important as offense and defense. Special teams can, change games, as we've seen. It helped us win the first game. So hopefully going into Sunday, special teams can help us make some big plays and help us win on this Sunday.
Coach Rizzi was telling me last week just about how often you get double teamed and like teams game plan for you and that. Like how much, I know like maybe sometimes you aren't always the one making the tackle, but how much satisfaction do you get out of seeing other guys be able to make plays because of the attention you draw?
Of course I'm happy for guys. But even getting double teamed again, game plan, I still feel like I still need to find a way. I feel like there's no excuse. My team counts on me, so I need to get down there and make plays regardless whether they're sending 11 at me. I want to be the guy that make the play. If I'm not, then somebody else, doing it. But like I said, of course, I don't care whatever they bring. I'm trying to make the play.
Just kind of what does your preparation look like, with stuff like that? Guys are game planning against you. I think most people probably look at it like, gunner, you're just beating the guy and going down. But like, how much studying in that goes into your approach each week?
Yeah, so I just study the guys, study some of the opponents that they've won against, and just try to not necessarily compare, but just try to see a guy that have some similarities to me and how they played against him, and just try to take advantage of it. Like I said, trying not to make no excuse, whether they're doubling or tripling me, just trying to go down there and make a play regardless.
Who are some of the guys you see as comparable to yourself?
I would say JT, but I really wouldn't know any other guy in the special team in the league that I would necessarily compare myself to, because I'm a different type of player. But a guy that I've always looked up to was Matthew Slater, a guy that I've been in touch with for the past few years, just because he said he loves the way I play the game. We got in touch with each other here and there, man. So we're good friends, and that's one of the guys I would say that I look up to.
Next question's from Amy Just.
Yeah, shifting to defense here for a second. Injury reports come out, and Marshawn and Jackrabbit are both out. How do y'all feel about the depth that you have there within the secondary in that corner?
We're confident in our guys. Next guy up, and those guys, Marshawn and Janoris, they've always worked. It's unfortunate that they won't be able to play this week. So we have to have their back. I went up to those guys and said, man, hey, we got your back. Whoever out there, we're definitely going to put on the show. And I believe in our group, and, I believe in our defense.
Next one's from Nick Underhill.
Just going back to the Slater thing, I mean, he's probably like a Hall of Famer just off of being a special teams guy. Like, what's some of the stuff you've been able to pick up just from talking to him?
Well, I remember back when I was an undrafted rookie, while I was with Houston, that was actually a guy that I studied, and I had no idea who he was or really what he did. But one of the special teams coaches up there, I said, hey man, I want to watch some film. Like, I want to be great at special teams, and he put some Matthew Slater film on. I think it was like around like 2014, 15. From the years that he showed me, he was just so relentless, man. He was just so relentless, getting after the ball, playing hard, and I would like to say that I took some of that to my game. I believe that's why I believe I go hard. Of course that's not up to me, but I would say I definitely took some of his tactics and added it to my game. And I believe it's been beneficial, and I just want to get better.
Next one's from Amy Just.
Yeah, back to defense. Sorry, ping-ponging you around.
That's all good.
With you and P-Rob, and now Ken Crawley's on your practice squad. He can get called up if y'all want, if that's what they choose to do. Just the veteran leadership that y'all have in that room, even outside of Jackrabbit and Marshawn. Just how important is that, even when they are healthy, right? To just keep everybody focused and continue towards the goal.
Yeah, definitely have a lot of leadership. It's crazy because I was talking to some of the guys like me, Marshawn and Marcus. We all came in together, and we've watched this group grow over the years. And the crazy thing is now is like we're kind of like the older guys now, going into year 4. Added a lot of we've added a lot of talent and a lot of experience with Malcolm and also DJ Swearinger, guys who I feel like has stepped up a lot, big time, and just getting the group on one accord. I feel like those guys have definitely handled it well. Not where we want to be, of course, but definitely on the way to success as a group.
Yeah, how much does the position flexibility that some of the secondary players that y'all have, how beneficial is that, especially this week?
Yeah, I mean, the more you can do, the better. We got some guys that play nickel, safety, and corner. So, and that's a great thing. It's like you said, the more valuable you are, the better you are in this league, and I believe that's something that we'll be able to take advantage of this weekend with a few guys out.
Thank you. All right, we're all set. Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.